Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Middle guy back again, and I have great news for everybody. Amazing news. This is exactly what I thought was going to happen. Boom. Trump $500 million civil fraud penalty thrown out by appeals court. Exactly. You know why? Because it was fucking unconstitutional and it was ridiculous. And they violated his rights. But let's go down here and read this article together. Key points. A New York State appeals court voided a more than $500 million civil fraud penalty imposed on President Donald Trump. The appeals court said injunctive relief ordered by the trial judge in the case was well crafted to curb defendants' business culture at the Trump organization. It almost seems like they were targeting him and trying to destroy his business for no reason. That's weird. But the order that directs the defendants pay nearly $500 million to the state of New York is an excessive fine that violates the 8th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Oh, so they violated his constitutional rights. That's so weird. Let's read on. A New York State appeals court on Thursday threw out a more than $500 million civil business fraud penalty imposed on President Donald Trump and other defendants. The appeals court said that while injunctive relief ordered by the trial judge in the case was well crafted to curb defendants' business culture at the Trump organization, the monetary penalty, which directs that defendants pay nearly $500 million to the state of New York, is an excessive fine that violates the 8th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Oh, weird. So they did violate his constitutional rights. Liberals, where are you at on that? I thought everybody had rights in all this. Why aren't you guys standing up and cheering this? Or why weren't you complaining before that this violated his rights? That's so weird. The lawsuit against Trump and his company, along with other defendants, was filed by the New York State Attorney General Letitia James, that fat bitch. Manhattan Supreme Court Judge Arthur Engeron in February 2024 ordered Trump to pay around $454 million in total penalties after holding him liable for business fraud, which was a complete bullshit because he committed absolutely no fucking fraud whatsoever at all. They never presented any evidence that he committed any fraud. And even the banks who he allegedly committed fraud against said there was no fraud committed. Engeron found that Trump's statement of financial condition signed between 2014 and 2021 overvalued his assets from between $812 million and $2.2 billion. This is the same judge that said Mar-a-Lago was only worth $17 million. Mar-a-Lago, $17 million, that's it. Okay. With interest, the penalty imposed on Trump and other defendants in this case has grown to more than $500 million. CNBC has requested comments from James, the White House, and Trump organization. Letitia James ain't going to say shit about this, or she's going to say she was attacked because she's a black woman. Eric Trump, the president's son and one of the defendants in the lawsuits, reacted to the decision in a social media post. Total victory in the sham New York Attorney General case. After 5 years of hell, justice prevailed, wrote Eric Trump, who with his brother Donald Trump Jr. operates the Trump Organization. In a concurring opinion with the decision, Appellate Division Judge Peter Moulton wrote that James did not carry her initial burden of establishing the rough total of the profits casually connected to the defendant's violations. Indeed, the calculation of disgorgement in this case was far from a reasonable approximation. James and defendants can appeal Thursday's decision, which kept in place non-monetary penalties imposed on President Trump and his company. So they literally just tried to go and take his money away from him for absolutely no reason. They had no evidence, no nothing at all, and they just strictly went after him because they didn't want him to be the president anymore, basically. They didn't want him to run for president anymore. They wanted to bankrupt him and then imprison him. Ridiculous. I'm so happy. Justice has fucking prevailed. Trump wins yet a fucking again. Let's get into this video here from MSDNC. It's going to be MS Now with no more Peacock because NBC's just completely disgusted and embarrassed that they're associated with them. But let's run this.
Breaking news we ended last hour with. A New York appeals court has thrown out a massive civil fraud penalty against President Trump, a total that exceeded $500 million. They're calling that penalty excessive. Joining us now, NBC News.
Because it is excessive. He didn't do anything wrong. That's the problem with this.
NBC News legal analyst and NBC News legal affairs reporter Gary Grumbach. Danny, break down this ruling for us.
Well, it's a lengthy ruling, and all the judges disagreed on their analysis, but they agreed on one final decision, which was that this judgment against Trump was a fine within the 8th Amendment prohibition on cruel and unusual punishment and excessive fines. And in addition, it was punitive and it was excessive. That's really the conclusion. They concluded that because this was a punitive measure because there weren't any victims who were compensated. It was just a judgment against the company and against Trump.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with this video, but Trump wins yet again, you liberal fucktards. So amazing. I'm so happy. The lawfare is getting completely shut down. They tried to destroy this man's life and his career and take away his businesses because they're scared of him. And he still won the presidency, and now all this shit's getting thrown out. This is a great day for America because it shows that you can't weaponize a justice system to go after someone and try to make them guilty when there's no fucking crime committed whatsoever at all. I'm ecstatic. I think this is fucking amazing, and I honestly couldn't be any happier with this decision. Thank you, judges, for following the law and actually looking at the facts of the case and realizing Letitia James is a fucking huge piece of shit who was just targeting President Trump for no other reason than that he's Donald J. Trump. Disgusting, disgusting, fucking disgusting. This is more disgusting than probably seeing Letitia James naked. And that's saying a lot because she's fucking gross. So let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. MAGA forever, because Trump is fucking still killing it. Everything that's happening is exactly what I voted for. This couldn't make me any happier that he's free from this lawfare bullshit in this case. Got a couple more cases to go for him, but this is amazing. And it's only going to get better. The winning doesn't stop under Trump. And no, sir, I'm not tired of the winning yet. Everyone have a blessed day. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.